Thanks for coming back. This is Good News in Gaming episode 2. I was just talking to the Twitch chat, and there's just not enough focus on the good news. Now, good news is a mixture of things that make us laugh, interesting things that lean positive instead of negative. Good news from the worlds of gaming and esports. So come along for episode 2 and hope we can make you smile. Like I said, we are back with episode 2. I was explaining to the Twitch chat, I first do this live and then I put it on YouTube, that I had a short week because I was blessed enough to take my family to the lake for a few days and, get out of Dodge and do some fishing and boating. I was lucky that some people sent me some links. This will be shorter than episode 1. And maybe shorter than episode 3. We're going to have to see. But it's challenging when I tweet out, hey, send me some good news. And the response is always pretty anemic compared to responses I typically get. It's hard to find good news out there right now, isn't it? But it's out there. So we got to dig for it. And I do apologize in advance. I didn't dig as hard as I did for episode 1 because I simply didn't have the time. But I want to try to do one of these every week. So even if an episode's shorter, you guys can go out and dig and find good news that I missed. But let's get started. Good News Gaming episode 2. All right. First thing I found for us is a Fortnite creator is buying entire forest. Like, if you know anything about Fortnite, Mr. Sweeney's got a little money because Fortnite makes a little money. Yeah, Brian, Jason Lake took his family to the lake. The lake's at the lake. So let's check this out. I thought this was very cool. Come on, there we go. So this is from Earth. No, I don't want notifications. Why do all the websites do that now? Just because I visit your website doesn't mean I want you to notify me. Drives me a little bit crazy. Fortnite creator is buying entire forests to prevent them from being chopped down. That's pretty cool. I think that's really good news. Fortnite is a game created by Tim Sweeney, become one of the biggest games of the decade, for sure. So anyway, Tim, who's made a lot of money, check this out. In the last decade, he spent this is a bad highlight. I don't know what it's doing there. I'm just going to show you, follow the cursor. He spent millions of dollars to support conservation projects in North Carolina in order to save its forest. He bought 40,000 acres of land, donated money to various conservation parcel projects, like the expansion of 1,500 acres in Mount Mitchell State Park. In 2016, he donated $15 million for a conservation project to protect 7,000 acres of Box Creek wilderness. So he's taking this Fortnite money and buying up forest. Check this out. Sweeney's conservation efforts come at a time when protecting our national forests become increasingly important. And where's this part I found? I read over this last night, where he bought another huge patch. Of course, I can't find it when we're live. But anyway, this is on the Earth, and I thought that was really good news. This gaming money is being used to preserve the Earth. And I think that's very cool. And also down here, China's wealthiest man has also taken note of the importance of conservation. In 2015, Jack Ma, the billionaire behind Alibaba, purchased 28,000 acres of land in the Adirondack Mountains of upstate New York. So his first operation was to stop the logging. And Tim, somewhere, I thought it was in here, but I'm glancing through it, he basically says, I'm buying this up and I'm just going to donate it to conservation. So I thought that was pretty cool. He's buying up giant chunks of land with Fortnite money, a forest, to prevent them from being chopped down and just to conserve them. Bravo. Hat tip to the very wealthy, Tim Sweeney, for putting that wealth to good. Love to see it. Number 2 on good news is a chance for up-and-coming esports casters to get a shot. A lot of times, one of the bigger frustrations for people in esports is basically how do I get into esports? I just need a chance. For players, it might be an amateur league or MDI for Counter-Strike or Academy for Overwatch or League of Legends. But But casters, like, how do I get a chance? Like, they hire the experienced ones, the ones with large fan bases, the ones with a lot of experience. So how can I get my chance? So I thought this was pretty cool. Let's check it out. Maybe I should have rebooted my computer before I went live today. I've been working all day. It's a little laggy. This is from ESL Counter-Strike. Do you love esports? Would you thumbs up cast the Open and Challenger series on ESL Play? This is your chance to join our team as a community caster. You can find more information on our CSGO Discord, and then you can click on their Discord. But anyway, they're looking for community casters and people to like get their feet wet. And if you watch any of my material, I'm always trying to stress one of the ways to get a job in esports is to make noise, like produce a bunch of content. People can't find you. People don't know if you're good if you're not doing what you would like to do for money and producing it and putting it out there. If you're a caster, make videos. If you're an artist, like make art. If you're someone with Photoshop, like Photoshop different things, send it to teams. If you're a designer, like do different designs for clothing and publish it and send it around, to get it out there. How do I keep my skin so clear? Sad Fu Loco? I can't tell if you're kidding. I got this little sunshine peeking through here, though. I got, we're gonna have to work on that. I'm gonna buy something to block that window. But yeah, I think this is good news. ESL's like, hey, we know it's hard to kind of break through, so let's do some community casters, and you never know. The next big caster, the Moses Anders and et cetera, might come from this. So I thought that was good news. Number 3, this one was kind of interesting. And I'm not really sure, to be honest, how good a news it was, but I guess it's cool news. There's a super rare CSGO knife unboxed. And I'm not really into like the skins and like that whole world, so I don't even really understand what it is. My son Jordan could probably come down here and explain it to me, because he's always buying this stuff and selling it and trading it. Like I sit down here and do the stock market from time to time. Jordan sits upstairs and plays the knife market and the skins market. He probably makes more. So here's a tweet from Oni Pixel on June 28th. Apparently someone in a Swedish Facebook group just unboxed the world's first STFN, and I'm sure that stands for something, Bayonet Ultraviolet. Stat Track Bayonet Ultraviolet. It would be the first one ever to get unboxed in the past 5.5 years. Not the flashiest knife, but by being one of one, it's definitely a collector's piece. I agree. Kind of interesting. First one in 5.5 years. I think it's good news. I think it's kind of cool for people that are into that sort of thing. Apparently, it's a really big deal, so I put it on the list. Good stuff. Number 4, I want to celebrate the artistic skills of a community member, and I'm terrified to say Monica's name, but it's here on the sheet, and we're gonna check out Monica's Instagram. I really like the art that's produced around the games, around the people that make the games happen. So this is Instagram. I am terrified to try to say that. PAPIEROWEDRZEWO. So if you're on the Instagram, which I'm sure you are, drop a follow. I'm sure that'd be appreciated. I have followed, but I'm not logged in. That's why. Yeah. So let's take a look at some of the art. It's MBK. Of course, I'm not logged in, so I'm not going to be able to click on these. Semler. As you go through some of these, Smuya, Keto. That's just cool art. Look at this one Astana. Trace is a friend of mine, and I hope he's seen that. That's fantastic. So I like to celebrate artists on the show, and good news. And I know I missed some birthdays this week, but we'll have to pick that up for next week. Adam Fitch, ESI, Just Harry. These are cool drawings. Semphis here, I can tell just by looking at the picture. Different people just taking the time to make art around esports people, and I think it's cool. Device, Elige. Look at these stars in here. Okay, can you not do that? I guess I have to log in to continue. But anyway, you get the idea. Thanks, Instagram on computer. But yeah, so check out that Insta. I think it's very cool. And her name again is here, Monica. I don't want to say that wrong and be disrespectful. But yeah, that's number 4. I want to celebrate her work, and if you guys could follow her on Instagram, that'd be cool. Number 5. Okay, there's a new games. See, I think like new games coming out is like good news. Hey, Kawamasutra, what's up? I think new games coming out is just good news. So I'm always going to toss in like, hey, this is a new game. So here's a couple. Don't Nod Entertainment, creators of Life is Strange and Vampire, will be releasing 2 new games this year. I think that's good news. Let's check them out. Come on. Oh, I gotta hit control. All right, so this first one is Twin Mirror. We're gonna skip politics here as soon as I can. So, Twin Mirror.
As many things. Peaceful tops that list. Until that day.
You're the one in the driver's seat, Sam. I can't make you do anything.
Twin Mirror. I wonder if it's anything like Black Mirror, right? Anyway, so check out that trailer, and I think that's pretty good news. I love new games coming out, especially stuff that's kind of like, everyone looks forward, of course, to Half-Life 3, God willing, and games that are in beloved franchises that we've all played for years. But I like seeing new games too. Remember when the first Last of Us came out? We're like, whoa, this is really cool. So it's always fun to look at different games. So here's the other game Don't Nod Entertainment has coming out soon. Let's check it out. Tell Me Why. Announcement trailer. Did anyone else love gaming trailers? You know, when they're done really nice. It says Tell Me Why. Should be coming out soon here, I think. Yeah, Cyberpunk we did in episode 1. Excited.
Each other's senses. Read each other's minds. Feel each other's pain. And sometimes they even relive each other's worst memories. This is wrong. This is so wrong.
Yeah. So I don't want to watch too much and like steal their trailers, but check that out. Tell Me Why announcement trailer. It's supposed to be coming out soon. So I thought that was good news, and that was number 5. Number 6, introducing the 1% Fortnite house. Now, someone sent this to me on Twitter when I asked for links, and I found this is pretty interesting. I'll be honest with y'all. I'm probably too old to really understand this new wave of, like fandom and influencers with the younger generation. I don't necessarily understand it all, but I respect the hell out of their hustle. Will we have a Valorant roster? Yes, probably. So yeah, I think it's good news. You got young people that are out hustling, making content, doing cool stuff, and you check out this house. This is the 1% Fortnite house. I know I say that like an old boomer guy. It's because I am. We'll just watch a second of it. I think it's good news. Growth in gaming, cool stuff.
My name is Alex, also known as Formula, introducing you guys the 1% Team House. This is the official channel of our brand new org that we created, and just to let you guys know,
3.4 million views on this thing in 4 days. It's pushing 1 million views a day.
we're able to buy this house with our own cash, no investors, completely self-funded.
These guys bought this crib.
We paid for ourselves, which is super awesome, and we also got another surprise for you guys.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we're all
They're dropping a whole bunch of merch. So anyway, I can't follow all these, the TikTokers, the YouTube houses and all this, but I respect the hustle. I respect the grind. You got people going out there that might not necessarily like kill it in other industries, but their personalities are so compelling on like YouTube or TikTok or whatever. They're just making millions of dollars, and they're hustling and they're grinding and they're buying these houses or whatever. mainly based off gaming. They go through the house and they show you their gaming setups and their rigs and YouTube and all this stuff. So I think it's good news. Like, a lot of people are going to be jealous of people like this, be like, oh, they're this or they're that, they're cheesy or cringe or whatever. You know what? I try to see the best in people. I try to see the positive side in these things. And you know what? Hat tip, if you're that age and y'all can get together with your friends and buy a house like that. To me, that's good news. So congrats to the 1%. The old Coal House variables, it wasn't quite that big, but we've had some big ones for sure. That is the 1% Fortnite house. Ready Player 2 is dropping. Anybody see this? Like, I'm legit excited for this. This is straight up gamer good news. Did anybody see the Ready Player 1 movie? Because I thought it was awesome. Ready Player 2, the sequel to 1, obviously, will be out in November. Woo! Ernest Cline's next novel about VR worlds is available for pre-order now. So yes, you gotta read the book because it'll probably take him time to make the movie. Sci-fi novel Ready Player 1 was released in 2011. And then the movie made it huge. Steven Spielberg. There hasn't been a sequel yet, but there will be soon. The Hollywood Reporter said today that Cline's follow-up, Ready Player 2, will be released in North America on November 24th. There's no word what the book will be about, although the title suggests a fairly direct progression from the first book, The Tale of a Teenager Named Wade Watts. So anyway, I think the announcement of Ready Player 2, the book, is great news. And if the sun doesn't drive me too crazy, we'll get through this video. I gotta buy a sheet because this is usually when I'm recording. Yeah, so I think that's good news. You know, we see so much bad stuff and so much just like, it's been a rough year in gaming. We talked about this in episode 1. And since the release of episode 1, there's been some seriously depressing news and people passing away, and we're not going to go into all that on this show. But I just think it's important that we try to sit back and just focus on the good, even if just, you know, even just for a little bit. All right, number 8, Sweatproof gaming mouse. Does anyone else sweat when you get gaming and your hands slipping and you're wiping it on your legs? So I don't know. This is probably stupid, but I thought it was cool. A lot of different people tried to crack this code. Any cars is worth more than my education. What's up? Thanks everybody for joining. We're just filming this for YouTube. This Sweatproof gaming mouse blows. That's by design. No more sweaty palms if you suffer from sweaty palms while gaming, and who doesn't? Switching to a claw grip might help as it gets some airflow. But the Zephyr, the company that designed and built this thing, it's bound for Kickstarter. It's a new cooling system. So like, I guess inside the mouse, they put the brains up here, and then inside the mouse there's gotta be fans or something, and then it'll blow like air up into your palm. I don't know how much it would weigh, but I bet if you took a mouse apart, I haven't personally, I bet our tech guy Andrew has, it's probably mostly hollow. I mean, how much tech does it really take? I bet you could fit the tech in the front and then have a little fan on the back to keep air moving on your hand, and then your hand wouldn't be all sweaty. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was good news. I'll definitely check it out. If the reviews aren't terrible, like if the reviews come out, they're like, oh my gosh, like this is terrible, the tracking is terrible or something, then I probably won't buy it. But as long as the reviews are okay, I'll try this bad boy out. Probably get the black or the white one. Yeah. Check out the fan right there. It looks like a turbo. I thought it was good news. The Sweatproof gaming mouse that blows. Interesting stuff. Number 9, Halo 3 is coming to PC. I gotta tell you guys, I raised my son on Halo when he was 2 years old. Against the advice of many of my more conservative anti-gaming friends, Jordan started playing Halo. Jordan was so young, when the bad guys would come on the screen, he'd get freaked out. He's 2 years old. And soon, Jordan wasn't afraid of the bad guys. He was headshotting all the bad guys. So we played through every Halo game that was out. Reach was kind of one of the newer ones when he was young. We played through that campaign probably 7 or 8 times all the way through, including 2 or 3 like on the hardest mode. And then Jordan started playing a little bit of multiplayer. And we went to a Christmas party one time, and some 14, 15-year-olds were playing Halo against each other. And he was up there, and he came down. He's like, hey, you think I could get a chance to play? He was 4 years old. And I said, well, I'll go ask him. I went in the room like, hey, guys, Jordan's 4, and he really likes Halo. Could he just play for a minute? Just let him have a chance. And they were really nice. They're like, yeah, sure. This guy's like, I'll play him. The kid was like 14. And Jordan wiped the floor with him. And I kind of felt bad because he was a little embarrassed. He just got smoked by a 4-year-old. But he was like, hey, I wasn't really trying. I was being nice. I'm like, oh, no, don't hold back. Go all out. Like, he's a good player. He's a real deal. So he's like, okay, I'll try this time. And Jordan beat him again, just not as badly. And he is 4 years old. So I have a sweet spot for Halo in my heart because, like, Jordan, he's played a ton of games since then. But Halo was his first FPS, starting when he was 2. And I spent so many hours blasting through space with Master Chief and Jordan doing the campaigns, because then you could do like the split screen, right? And help each other and play together. And so it's pretty cool.
They let me pick. Did I ever tell you that? Choose whichever Spartan I wanted. You know me. I did my research. Watched as you became the soldier we needed you to be. Like the others, you were strong and swift and brave. A natural leader.
But anyway, you guys can check that out. Finish the fight, Halo. Halo 3 is coming to PC. I think that's good news. It sure brought back a lot of memories for me, and definitely made me smile. I thought it was good. Next, number 10. YouTuber gives his mom a new car. I think we grow numb to some of these stories because this is some of the news that you see, like, oh, I give my family cars or whatever. To me, this is good news. Mike Madlak, probably saying his name wrong. His mom breaks down in tears after he shocks her with the dream car. Popular YouTube personality, now best-selling author, hey, there's courage, left his mom in tears after surprising her with a dream car. Called The Night Shift. You can check out this on YouTube here. Gave her an Audi. Pretty nice. Hey, Mikachu, how you doing? We featured an artist earlier. Mikachu was actually featured on episode 1. You'll have to watch this on YouTube, Mikachu. So anyway, I thought that was good news. I thought that was really kind. A lot of people, if they find success, if they find fortune or any kind of money at all, they get really selfish and don't want to support the people that brought them up and like look after them and take care of them. So good on Mike. Bought his mom a car. I thought that was good news. Number 11, next gen Xbox and next gen game upgrades are going to be free. Let's check this out. Oh man, did I forget to hit return now? There we go. You can tell how high tech this stream and this show is. Next gen game upgrades should be free. Xbox tells developers. Tells developers they cannot charge players to upgrade their current gen games to Xbox Series X versions as DLC, as an alternative to its free smart delivery scheme. So as I read this, and I could be wrong, like if you already have a game on your current Xbox and you get the new Series X, you'll just be able to play that game without having to pay the developers some upgrade fee or DLC. Anyway, maybe I don't completely understand it, but that's how I read it. And whenever Xbox is telling developers, hey, you need to let people play their game on the different platforms without charging them more, that was good news to me. And that was just July 7th, a couple days ago, as we're filming this, July 9th, 2020. Good news. Why did I miss this page? All right, Bungie, the famous developer, is raising money for iPads. Let's check it out. Bungie Day 2020 fundraiser. The iPads for Kids program reduces distress and suffering in children by providing patients, apparently in the hospital, with customized age-appropriate technology that allows for distraction, therapeutic play, and a sense of normalcy that is vital to create a positive hospital experience in an otherwise stressful and scary situation. So the Bungie Foundation is grateful to provide a holistic suite of resources to meet the emotional needs of pediatric patients. Please join us on our journey to help kids in need. So I think that was awesome. When I looked at this yesterday, it was around $250,000, and now it's at $296,000. Gamers doing good. Bungie raising money to buy these iPads so they can provide children that are in the hospital with some distraction and some comfort and some, something fun to do in a dark and scary place when you're a kid and you're in the hospital and everyone's poking and prodding you and you're sick and you don't understand why. Good on Bungie. It's their 2020 fundraiser, and it's almost at $300,000. At Tip Bungie. Good news. Number 13. SSG Cup for Clash Royale scene. Someone from the Clash scene sent me this, and I thought it looked like good news. The Clash scene sometimes, they have had the league with Supercell the last couple of years, but sometimes they're short on events. Space Station Gaming is proud to present the SSG Cup. It's a cool video. I like being in Clash. We had cool guys on our team. So I think that's good news. An event for a community that could really like it. Hat tip, Space Station Gaming. Good stuff. I think that's good news. More events, more things going on. Okay. I found this because I thought it was a little bit funny. I'm older than most people that are going to be watching this video, so they might not find it funny. This is the strangest video game console of all time. When I was growing up, I grew up in the old days, the Atari 2600, the ColecoVision, the early Nintendos. All right, see you later, Waldo. Coleco tried to make this machine called Telstar Arcade, and I'd never seen this one. They were trying to get up everything going on here. So I guess this is for Pong and stuff. Over here, you got a driving side, right? Over here, you got a shooting side for duck hunt. They were just trying to cover it all. It's like, you want an arcade at home? We're going to give it to you. And it's fun to look back now and watch how they try to figure out the industry. What will gamers buy? What will be the next big thing? What's going to work? How are we going to make money? And look at these panels and stuff. It looks so ridiculous now, but back in the day, it's hey, when I was a kid, I probably been cool, because we didn't have the things you guys have. It was the early days of gaming, so it made me laugh. I thought I'd share it on the stream. 1970s design at its finest. Tried to be everything to everyone. The strangest video game console of all time. That's on IGN if you want to check that out. Oh, there's a cool one. Just the gaming grind won't stop in NBA bubble. If you follow the NBA at all, they've brought all the players, I believe it's to Orlando, and put them in hotels. They call it the NBA bubble. No one can get in, no one can get out, to try to keep them healthy, obviously. This is on ESPN's main Twitter account, 35 million people, talking about something that we know. If you're watching this video, you probably already know, is pro athletes in traditional sports love playing video games. So they're showing up to the bubble with their monitors. They're showing up to the bubble, full gaming setups. Look at this dual PC. Got the mice, is Josh Hart, necessities, depending on how strong this Wi-Fi is. Even NBA players worry when they go to a hotel, if the Wi-Fi is good enough to game. So I thought this was cool. I thought it was good news. It's kind of neat to see ESPN, 35 million followers, talking about how these pro NBA players are gaming out. Here we go. He's on Twitch. These setups. He brought a whole all-in-one PlayStation setup with the monitors in the carrying case. Jordan Clarkson's. So these guys are showing up to the NBA bubble and worried about how they're gonna game out. I thought it was cool. I thought it was good news. I thought it was cool for gaming, just seeing how all these star athletes are into what we're into, right? All right, getting towards the end. Like I said, a little shorter today. Sony invests $250 million in Epic Games. This, I believe, was today. This is on VentureBeat. I think it's good news because the economies around the world are really suffering. Investment and flow of funds and capital is really just important to the health of the ecosystem. Some cynical people might be like, oh yeah, well the rich are getting richer because Fortnite Epic Games doesn't need money. We saw earlier where Tim is buying up entire forests, right? The founder of Epic Games. But I looked at this as good news because companies are making moves, the gaming industry is healthy, capital is flowing, money is flowing, new games are coming out as we saw. And just today it was announced that Sony has put $250 million into Fortnite maker Epic Games. So I thought it was good news. I look at things a little bit on the business side, so maybe not everyone will see it as good news. But I'll tell you what bad news would be. Bad news would be if the money stopped flowing, people stopped investing in gaming, people stopped believing in gaming, in the ecosystem of gaming. That would be bad news for us, friends. So I thought this was good news. Congratulations to Sony and again to Epic Games. Ching. I thought that was good news. This is written by Dean Takahashi. If you follow him, he does a ton of games journalism. I've done an interview with him before. Very nice guy. Congrats to Sony and Epic Games. Okay, a new game. Our third or fourth one that we're looking at today, Revolution Spark. Announcement trailer. I think new games coming out is always good news. And I'm so sorry about that, son. I'm going to go to Walmart or something and just buy a black sheet to hang over this window this time of day. Because it's only like this for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half as the sun sets. And the blinds on my wall, anyway. I'll look back and laugh about it someday. I even have a jacket up, but of course the sun is pinholing right around the jacket because that's just the way it goes some days. Did I get it? I don't know. Let's check this out. Revolution the Spark announcement trailer came out on July 4th.
The nobles break our backs and live in lavish decadence under the velvet fist of the Empress.
But anyway, as always, I don't want to steal their thunder. I just wanted to point this out. You can find it on YouTube. Came out July 4th. Revolution, the Spark announcement trailer. The real N07, you can definitely send me more links. They'll be on the next show. And I appreciate any links that you continue to send. Thank you. What do I think about one big franchise league like the NBA and CSGO? Well, that is a conversation for another time, Flow CS. A good question. But not while I'm filming this for YouTube. 18. We're almost to the bottom here. More NES games are inbound. Any Nintendo fans? Leave a comment below the video or speak in Twitch chat. More Super NES and NES games will arrive, and this is European time, July 15th. For Nintendo Switch Online members, including the 1994 classic Donkey Kong Country. I rented a cabin up at the lake. We were talking about it earlier for a few nights last week. And in our cabin, if you follow my Instagram, I had a little quick clip. They had an arcade machine, and in that arcade machine are like 25 like old games. And Jordan and I got like the high scoring Galaga, the high scoring Pac-Man, you know, just go down the line, Galaxian, like all these old school games. And we wouldn't quit until we stole the high score off the machine for the next people that rented the cabin. And Donkey Kong was one of the games we played. Not Donkey Kong Country. It was just Donkey Kong. But I thought this was good news. This is from Nintendo of Europe, at Nintendo Europe, July 8th on Twitter. I think that's very cool. the 94 classic Donkey Kong Country. More games, new games. Nintendo fans should be stoked about that. I thought that was good news. I like this one. This is the Pittsburgh Knights and Wiz Khalifa Charity. Why are you not loading? Come on. All right. Let me see. Am I going to have to do this the hard way? All right. My computer is not playing nice or something. So let's do this. Oh, now you want to open. Now you're going to open like 5 times, aren't you? That's the way it always goes. Pittsburgh Knights, Wiz Khalifa and Friends charity stream brings together XQC and others. And this is is on July 11th. It's in 2 days, Wiz and Friends. And it's for RAD, Rise Above the Disorder. Global esports team, Pittsburgh Knights, and charity fundraising platform, Soft Giving, have announced an additional talent for Wiz and Friends charity stream. Some different people joining them. And there's a whole list right here. The event will benefit Rise Above the Disorder, RAD, and all funds raised will support people of color in need of mental health care. RAD provides a universal mental health care system accessible to youth all over the world. Since 2017, RAD has covered the cost of mental health care for more than 35,000 people across 132 countries. That's fantastic. If you guys want to check that out, it is coming up July 11th. So, hat tip, applause. Pittsburgh Knights, James over there and his crew, great guys. And to Wiz for a great charity for mental health. That's good news. Good news in gaming. We need to celebrate it more. We need to amplify it more. Number 20, Boston Children's Hospital to host an online charity. This is from the PR Newswire. Boston Children's Hospital to host online Rocket League gaming tournament. Again, this was July 11 and 12 in an effort to raise funds for research to help the sickest children. They're using Rocket League, video game, to raise money to help sick kids. Like, if that's not good news, I don't know what is. Something in our society is just so hell-bent on focusing on the negative and just devouring the toxicity in the daily news cycle. And it's so unhealthy. We need to focus on the good as well as the bad. Don't close our eyes to the bad in this world, but don't close our eyes to the good either, right? This is good news. July 7th, 2020, hot off the wire here, a couple days old, using a Rocket League gaming tournament to raise money for kids. Hat tip, Boston Children's Hospital, Rocket League, and all the people involved. Love it. Great stuff. Here's a diabetes 12-hour Twitch marathon. Now this is, I think, is already over, but I wanted to point it out anyway. Okay, why can you not open it? I think this is a lesson. Always reboot computer before you stream, especially if you're opening lots of links and max. And I have a lot of RAM too. Let's close a bunch of those. Will you open this now? You won't. It's not a search. I don't need an A. How about that? How about I put it in the right place? I'm gonna be stubborn now. I wanted to do this. There we go. Game over. Type 1 diabetes nonprofit JDRF kicks off virtual fundraising campaign of the 12-hour Twitch marathon on June 27th. So this one's over, but it was still recently. The leading global organization funding type 1 diabetes research will hold a 12-hour charity fundraiser where? On Twitch, one of the homes of gaming. Improving lives, curing type 1 diabetes, 12-hour marathon, Madden, League of Legends, Dread Machine, Elder Scrolls on their channel. I wish I had seen this sooner so I could have tried to, tweeted it or helped get them some eyeballs. But that's good news. Very good news. Hat tip to JDRF on their Twitch marathon. I think that is very good news, and I don't know what I did there, but let's keep going. Number 2, Fortnite video game marathon to raise money for nurses. A lot of Fortnite in the good news. Whatever you want to say about Fortnite, and you know, some people think it's cringe, some people think it jumped the shark, some people think it's just dumb, whatever. There's a lot of good news that comes out around Fortnite and around Epic Games and about what they're doing. There's a lot of positivity that arises from that game. Shipley students plan Fortnite video game marathon to raise money for nurses. Okay, this is back in May. I didn't see that, but it's still good news. It's not as new as our news usually is. Cynics might say that playing video games from breakfast till bed is for slackers. Whatever they think about people spending their time watching others play video games, and they might declare 21st century America has imploded. But gamers and their fans will tell you otherwise. Playing on the internet can help save the world. That's what 3 graduating seniors from Shipley School in Bryn Mawr believe as they plan to play video game Fortnite for 24 hours between Friday and Saturday to raise money for nurses battling the coronavirus. And there it is. Gamers on a marathon on Twitch to raise money for nurses battling the coronavirus. This is on the Philadelphia Inquirer. Good on them. Good news. I'm glad they got some local coverage. Hope their parents are proud of them, because that is a darn nice thing to do. I'm proud of them. Hat tip to the Shipley students. You made Good News in Gaming episode 2. Well done. And that's the end of the list. You could tell I added a couple right at the last minute. There's a lot of positivity in gaming. There's a lot of good news. There's a lot of things to celebrate. We need to stop only focusing on the bad and the toxic. I'm not saying we ignore it by any means. There's been a lot of bad to focus on lately. And I think the fact that some of these conversations are coming to light is a very good thing. We need to confront the way women are treated. We need to confront the toxicity and just the brutal way we talk to each other in games and on chats and on message boards and the bigotry and discrimination and misogyny and all the terrible things. But while we're confronting these things, while we're eyes wide open, we can't ignore the good. Gaming is meant to be a positive place, a place of fun, a place of joy, a place of socialization, a place of meeting friends, a place of enjoyment. So yes, we must confront the darkness that's in our ecosystem, but we also can't ignore the light just because maybe it's not as clickbaity. It's all good, and that is Good News in Gaming episode 2. Please subscribe, ding the bell if you like the content here on my YouTube. I'm still exploring and figuring out what it's going to look like, but I thank you very much for watching the show. Please leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. Thanks so much. Peace out.